Tamara.
I thought Mitch and Ella broke up and it was like
So she thought they had broken up. She just said that.
Hello everybody, welcome back to Taste of Reality. My name is Queenie. For those who don't know me, reviewing Married at First Sight Australia, Season 9, Episode 36, Reunion Part 1, I guess? Yeah, I guess this is part 1. As always, please make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell. Let me know what type of reunion you guys like better. Do you guys like when the couples just come together and rehash everything? Or do you like when they've already seen the season back and then they have a host who talks about what happened? Because I'm conflicted. I like the messiness of the dinner table, but I also like when they, are shown footage of the whole season. And, it's a little bit messy. Y'all let me know. We are going to start with Mitch, who was preparing for the dinner party and saying that immediately when he went home, he regret his decision to not pick Ella, or I guess to give himself more time. Can't really tell if he picked her or if he didn't pick her. I guess he kind of picked her, but like for later. Long story short, later came and they're now together.
Get back to our roots, his roots,
I have conflicting thoughts about these two. I think there's an element of entertainment when it comes to these shows, right? Well, there's a large element of entertainment. So I can understand how some of their ups and downs was made for good TV, right? At the end of the day, for me, I would find it very hard to be with a person who I have cried over, I have been embarrassed over, I have had to compromise my values in order to make a relationship work. And time again, we would see her light diminish in the presence of Mitch. So I'm like, okay, unless it was all for entertainment, I still don't understand why they are together, but they are together. A few other couples who are showing up together are Selena and Cody. I'm low-key surprised by, and Olivia and Jackson. Dominica and Jack, however, are not together, and it seemed like the reason is because they didn't know where each other stood. There was just like a miscommunication with their relationship.
I'm left very confused.
I don't know what happened.
Is there any hope there of getting things back on track with him?
Never say never.
We're going to dive into them a little bit later, but when everyone's arriving to the cocktail hour, Holly is first, and Homegirl said the way that she had been manifesting a relationship finally came true because she is seeing somebody outside of the show. I mean, kudos for you, I guess. Pray for that man. And Andrew actually didn't come. What happened to you, Andrew? So when Olivia and Jackson arrive, listen, feel how you feel about Olivia. Because I have a lot of strong feelings about Olivia. The girl looked good. Okay, she looks good. I can't even say much bad about her appearance. Okay, she looks good. But they did announce that they had moved in together recently. However, why are you moving in with a romantic partner who hasn't expressed love for you?
Look, he moved in to stay. I think actions speak louder than words when it comes to that.
You're roommates. You are roommates. All right. So the blondes band together and basically they want to gossip about everybody in the corner. And of course, Dominica and Jack are a part of the conversation. So as soon as Jack arrives, led by Sam, the blondes are quick to want to poke at, what's really going on.
We knew he wasn't going to be with Dom, didn't we?
Jack, you're alone?
You're not with Dom.
Oh, give me 2 secs.
Because of her involvement in the drama. Like, it did shelf your relationship.
Who the hell is Sam to come and tell somebody the reason why they broke up? Babes, you were not even there. Second of all, look at your own relationship that went to shit. Just be quiet. I found Sam this episode at the peak of annoying for me because in the latter half of the season, we definitely saw her entitlement really show. Tamara as well, Olivia, I mean, through the roof. And they're tied with Celine and Carolina. Samantha was just a sight to see. Tamara all of a sudden was very quiet when it seemed that Jack was not willing to crap on his relationship with him and Dom, which I loved. He's always been consistent on never making Dominica look bad in public. And I love that, right? So they had egg on their face when Dominica showed up and Jack was very excited to see her.
Dom.
So good to see you.
How are you?
So good. You look beautiful.
Oh, thank you.
Oh.
All the while, Dominica is talking to Brent in the corner, and Brent is saying he's ready to release the secrets that he has. And Tamara's doing all this chirping, not realizing she's about to be at the forefront of some drama. But we're going to get to that a little bit later. The last to arrive is Carolina and Daniel. And Dion actually greets them because he says, you know, he's over the drama. He just can't be bothered by it, as he should. But when the dinner starts, the couple has issues with Mitch, who has no intentions of apologizing whatsoever.
I just don't want to give him the satisfaction. I'm not going to feed into his rubbish.
Mitch did say some very disrespectful things about Carolina, and I feel like regardless of how you feel about how things happen, don't degrade people, don't degrade women, especially not in front of the person's partner. Like, that's some next level disrespect, right? And Mitch is actually the hot topic of the night because Brent is like, I have an idea. How about we share the negative things in this experience that we went through and how we overcame them? And he prompts Tamara to go first, but he's not pleased with her answer, so he gives a suggestion of his own.
Was the negative not the fact that you tried to pick up Mitch when we got out of the experiment and he rejected you?
He's joking.
Yeah, what is he talking
He's
about?
joking.
The way the story goes, as I understand it, they have the same social group, right? Somebody in the comments had also said that they work in the same building, so that would make sense. And I was like, oh, so she's here complaining about Brent when you, okay, interesting. So since they have the same social group, she wanted to reach out to him as a friend. He was saying, no, there was a different connotation in the message. You were being flirty. You were seeking me out as not just a friend. She denies the whole thing. And then she turns it around by saying, but you were calling me late at night. The whole room erupted because they're like, Mitch calls everybody late at night. He might call you 10 times in the same night. Like, girl, don't make it a thing. So I'm hearing like, oh, Tamara, all of this defensiveness, all of this, you know, pushback when you were coming for somebody else's husband. Yo, the hypocrisy on this season is amazing. While Tamara was making an absolute fool of herself, Ella chimes in and she's like, listen, never have I ever been threatened by you. I'm currently not threatened by you, and I never will be threatened by you, mainly because I'm just not, but also because Mitch told me not to be. Threatened by you? Never. I love to see it. Because Tamara was such a tyrant near the end of the season. I mean, throughout, if we're being honest, but more so near the end of the season, that it's enjoyable. Man, does that make me a sick human being? It's enjoyable to see her get her just desserts. And in as much as I think that Brent's display at the final vows was a little dramatic, I do appreciate that she's finally getting some of the treatment that she's been giving people, because how do you not see that you've been a brat, you've been disrespectful, you've been acting self-righteous when you had no right to, because you were stepping out of your own marriage. You were prejudging somebody based off of your assumptions of what he does for work. You had so much crap to say about other people when you had shit in your own life that you just, you know, were refusing to deal with. And through all of this, what happens to the other blonde girls? Olivia, silent. Samantha, silent. Oh, y'all don't want to chime in anymore? This is not the drama that entices you? No? Interesting. Moving on to Carolina and just, oh my gosh. So we're still doing the activity of, you know, naming the negatives. And Dion and Carolina start yelling at each other. Basically, like, he was about to start talking and she was upset that he was about to go into a speech or whatever. And I'm like, Carolina really is thirsty for attention. Good God, you're going to start yelling at this man because he's long-winded? Really? Okay. So then Dion is like, let me show you how much I don't care about the negatives in my life.
Wow, so, negatives. Geez, there's been a lot. There has been a lot of negatives. And I can't sit here and look at the negatives, but this has been a negative experiment. Let's look at the positives in life, right?
So the situation between them did die down a little bit, but they being Daniel and Carolina are not pleased at the fact that they are not at the center of the attention, right? So they're upset that they're put in the corner of the table and they're starting to do like this kissy, whatever. And it wasn't really working. So the fact that their exaggerated PDA wasn't getting on people's nerves, Daniel takes it upon himself to insert himself in a conversation where Mitch is involved and ask him about what, like, is he going to apologize for what he said at the guys' night? And Mitch was again like, no.
You're not going to get what you want from it.
Yeah, it's all, but even...
You're not going to get what you want.
If I knew Daniel was the type of person who wanted a genuine apology and isn't looking to start drama, I might have been like, okay, Mitch, what you said was actually out of line and you should apologize. But because I know that Daniel just wants to get a rise out of him, I would stand my ground too and be like, I said what I said. I shouldn't have said it. Going forward, I won't say that again. But to actually apologize to Daniel, I wouldn't either. I do think that he owes Carolina an apology and saying, listen, whether you're in the room or not, nobody should ever to refer to you as, what did he even, I don't remember what he said, but I know it was wrong. You should never be referred to as that. And for that, I am sorry. It'll never happen again, and move on, right? Given the couple that they are, though, the pride within me, the ego within me would never want to let up because I don't want them to win. And me apologizing means that they would win. And I know I'm the person who comes on here, talks about, restitution, making things right, but not in this case. Not today. Throughout the dinner, Olivia was actually very quiet, and I was impressed. The experts speculate that, what are their names now? Olivia and Jackson made a pact just to not bring anything up, right? But Holly is like, let me be Miss Messy Boots and start the drama. And I was like, aren't you the same woman who came in first saying we need to sage the place so there isn't any drama? Here she is igniting something, asking Olivia why she still hasn't apologized about the picture situation. And Olivia is standing her ground and saying, I'm not sorry.
I'm not sorry.
Google it, it was on there. That's not intimate. How intimate is Google?
Jackson is finally showing us that he is just as grimy as his wife. There's no way that somebody with a good heart and good intentions watches Olivia's actions and co-signs it. Or even if he's not co-signing, just lets her do it and silently sits back, which I believe is also co-signing. You have to be the same kind of person to see her behavior as okay. So now seeing him kind of pop off a little bit, basically saying, it's on the internet, Google is free, blah, 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 shows that his impression about the whole situation was the exact same as Olivia's. Only thing is Olivia was the mouthpiece for what? Mouthpiece for their couple. Him standing by her was basically him supporting what was being said, just without verbal expression. And so Selena chimes in and she's like, listen, at the end of the day, you guys are not realizing that the impact it had on a person was detrimental. And for that, we need to apologize for, which I thought was very commendable considering the fact that, she was the first person it was shared to and it was spread around because of her. That's what it seems like. But for her to say, it's the principle about it and not necessarily your feelings around the situation, that's what I wanted to hear from the majority of the group. that's something that's still not clicking to them. They think that because it was on a public domain, which it wasn't, that they shouldn't have to apologize for it. But whether or not something is public knowledge, like, talking about people behind their back is never, is never a good thing, especially with explicit information, an explicit photo. Yikes. So luckily for Dom, though, the dinner ended with Dominica and Jax still being very flirty and kind of ironing out where things went wrong between the two of them.
You said, I'm just feeling as though we're like at a friend's vibe. And I was like, well, shit, yeah. We are, aren't we then?
Genuinely, I thought we were just mates, and that's what you wanted.
I still stand by the fact that they are going to be the longer standing couples. Or if they're not the longest standing couple, I do feel like they are the most compatible. They might not be compatible in terms of like libido and sexual desire, but everything else, I feel like they are the best suited for each other. So it was kind of sad to see that they didn't show up together. But some of you guys were saying in the comments that they do end up together. They just had a little blip in their relationship, which is great. I still have more faith in them more than I do Olivia and Jackson, or even Ella and Mitch. Definitely not Selena and Cody, because I feel like they're the couple that's going to break up tomorrow. But we'll have to wait and see what happens tomorrow night. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.